Hey, Dillon, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. How's quarantine going for you?
It hasn't been too bad actually. Other than not working for a little bit, but Florida is super sunny, so I've gotten a hell of a good tan. So it's
So you're in Florida right now?
yeah.
Oh, awesome. And so what are you doing to keep yourself busy? I guess you can't go to the beach. I guess you can now, but before you couldn't go to the beach and stuff. So what were you doing?
Really just hanging out with my dog and, a few of my friends and just enjoying it while we could, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm assuming that you binged Tiger King like the night it came out, right?
Yes.
And when you watched it, you kind of came in the last half of this story. But was there anything? Yeah, was there anything that when you watched the documentary that you were like, "Hey, that's not how it happened," or what? They didn't get that right?
No, it was actually pretty accurate in my opinion. The producers really investigated and did their research, and they really dug deep and may have gotten all the information in sketchy ways, but they got the information and it was right.
Was there anything that surprised you in it?
We specifically told them not to put in the clip of Travis in the office shooting himself, and they did, and so I feel like that was pretty disrespectful, and that's obviously very personal to Joe, and Joe hasn't seen the documentary, so when he finally does, it's going to be a show on Joe's end.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. Were you upset that they didn't invite you to the bonus Joel episode?
No, not at all. I kind of declined. I didn't want anything to do with it. Just because I did grow kind of close with the producers, and Netflix brought in a new production company for the episode 8. So I thought it wasn't cool for somebody else to want to come in and ride the success that they had made the show into. And it was boring as hell anyway. I watched it. I was so glad I wasn't a part of it.
I was going to say, you didn't want to get interviewed with an iPhone and some AirPods?
That's all I've been doing for the past month.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing. It's like, if you're a fan of the show and you started listening to all these podcasts and radio shows and that had, the cast on, all the answers to these questions. So there wasn't anything that was really new on this bonus episode, right?
Other than Rick Kirkham with his AirPod upside down, I think that was the only.
Yeah. So what do you think about Rick Kirkham? I mean, is he a good guy? Like, we were talking about this before you came on. It seems like he kind of exaggerates some stories sometimes because he's a reality show guy, right? He's a producer.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was definitely not happy with how he saw himself on the show. Clearly, I mean, he was like kind of a scared animal. When you're backed into a corner, you're either going to do one thing, you're going to cower, or you're going to attack and lash out. And so I think he just lashed out at any freaking person he possibly could because he was just very unhappy with how he looked.
Yeah,
which is his true personality.
Right. I guess the only thing that you could say, quote unquote, is surprising was he said that Joe was afraid of these big cats or whatever. Which, first off, I don't blame Joe because I would be scared to death of these things too. I wouldn't even want to touch a cub, but I just can't imagine that Joe's been around these animals for so long, for all these years, and be that terrified of them. I mean, maybe he was cautious. I don't think he was terrified of the big cats. Would you say that's true?
I feel like Rick Kirkham's just talking out of gas. I literally busted out laughing whenever he said that because it is okay to be cautious when you're around these kind of animals because they can kill you in a split second, But if Joe was so scared of them, why would he go in a cage with 10 plus full-grown cats twice or 3 times a day, every single day?
Exactly.
That makes no sense.
Right. I wouldn't do that, but somebody who's not afraid would do that.
I wouldn't either.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
So I know it was kind of touched on in the show, but how did you meet Joe again? How did you get involved in all this stuff? Were you trying to buy a tiger with some income tax money, or what was going on?
No, I moved to Oklahoma to live with my cousin, and then, being a normal 20-year-old gay guy, I hop on Grindr, and there's Joe with a giant tiger on top of him, and I'm like, I never even heard of Joe Exotic, and he sent me this really long message, and he's like, oh, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, and I thought he was just like complete bullshit me, and he gave me his phone number, so I shoot him a call, and he's like, yeah, well, hey, come down to the Safari Bar, and come meet me, blah, blah. So we went down that night and met Joe, and then took me down to play with some little baby tigers, which was freaking awesome. And then went home, and then the next day was the parade, which y'all saw was our first date.
Yeah.
And there was no cameras when I first met him, so it was kind of weird whenever they pull up and there's all these freaking camera people. And then I just never left after that.
Is that what got you hooked, the tiger? Because I think if I went out with somebody and they brought out a tiger, I'd be like, oh man, this guy, there's something special about this person.
Well, to be fair, I mean, honestly, like Joe probably hit it out of the park. I mean, as being in the Oklahoma gay community, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, when I was a little kid in the neighborhood, I was trying to impress the girls in the neighborhood. I had a bunny, and I would bring out the bunny to get the attention. All the girls would come up. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Such an alpha male as myself. I came out with a bunny, and they would pet the bunny. Oh, look at the bunny and stuff. And so that's how I would make my move.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would lie. I would be lying if I said the tigers weren't something that brought me in. But once you're around Joe, dude, it's like so weird because his energy is so strong.
Oh yeah,
charisma is he's just a very like you're interested in him immediately. And you know, at first it wasn't anything sexual or romantic. It was just more of like a companionship thing. So when he finally proposed, it was like, you know what? Yeah, like I'm comfortable here. You're keeping me away from all the negative things I was doing, and I'm not depressed anymore. I kind of feel like there's something I was meant to do because I was taking care of these baby animals. So I was like, yeah, let's freaking do it, you know? And he was just super lonely, and he needed somebody who's going to be there for him. He hates to be by himself. He always has to have someone with him. Doesn't matter if he's going to Walmart or wherever, he's got to have somebody with him. So,
yeah. What would a Joe Exotic pickup line sound like?
Well, I mean, you heard it. He's like,
yeah, he did it during the documentary.
When he asked Travis, you know, do you watch porn? Well, do you like the bigger ones or the little ones?
That's true. I just look at that more as an inappropriate conversation among coworkers.
It's no. That I feel like that's a great line.
Well,
it's
it worked
true
for him, didn't it?
Sure did.
What's it like for you now that because the show got so big, you weren't expecting the show to get this big, right?
Oh, nobody was. Even the producers, they were so shocked. They were like, "I wish I could have, you know, went for a bigger deal from Netflix." But
exactly. Maybe had some merch, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
exactly.
Are you getting recognized at Walmart too?
I don't go to Walmart. I shop at Publix. But no, I mean, a few people have recognized me. I've had a police officer ask me, "Hey, can I take a picture with you?" I'm like, "Are you going to buy me a ticket?"
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So,
give me a get out of jail free card, and I'll give you a picture. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like since the quarantine, it's not too bad. But I also look completely different. I have short hair. I mean, filming was over 2 years ago, you know, so it's been a different ride, and I've grown up a little bit, been through some stuff, and yeah, so not very many people recognize me. I look different.
How many times a week do you talk to Joe?
Well, we used to, when he was in Oklahoma, we would talk every single day, like multiple times a day. But since he's been in this new Fort Worth place, he's in his isolation because there's over 300 cases of the COVID-19 virus there. So we've only been able to talk like 4 times, and we talked this morning, though. So
just to clarify, he did not have corona, but he's in isolation, so he won't get the coronavirus, correct?
Yes, you're 100% correct.
And how's he doing with all? I mean, I know you get this question all the time, and I've seen you answer it, but I mean, he knows how big the show is. He's ecstatic that it's as big as it is. How's he doing with everything else, though? So, I mean, he knows the show is big, but he doesn't know how big it is. Okay. You know what I mean? He doesn't realize that everyone in the single world knows exactly who Joe Exotic is. Like, you can't ask him. You know? So, I mean, he's still excited and like super proud of like that people know him. I mean, he's Joe Exotic, you know, so attention whore for sure. But I don't know like the case details or anything like that, but is there a chance, I know he's serving 22 years. Is there a chance that he could be paroled earlier? Can he get out earlier? Is there any sort of a chance, or do you know any of that? I mean, it's a big possibility. You're in Texas, right? In Dallas. Yes. So, within a couple weeks, you'll see, I guess. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm excited. Well, I started a change.org, so hopefully that helps something. We're going to do a protest as well, because that changes a lot of things when people go out and do protests. There's a protest 6 feet apart. Right, 6 feet apart protest, for sure. We're doing social distancing. It's going to be pretty big in the next couple of weeks. Well, I'm excited about that. I really am. All right, so let's say he does get out, let's say in the next 2 years or so, right? What do you think he'll do next? He kind of said he was done with the animal side, but now he's got this new fame. You guys have this new fame. What do you think you guys are going to do? Really, Jill just wants to rebuild his reputation. Yeah. That's his main goal. You know, it was totally tarnished and torn to pieces whenever
he got arrested and he couldn't speak his mind. And so I think the first thing he's going to do, and he has a big old mouth, and so he's just going to say everything. He's not going to know how to stop.
Right.
So be sure you're gonna hear from Joe the second he walks out of there.
Yeah.
He's going to have a lot to say.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. So who do you think should play Joe in the movie? I know a lot of names are floating around. David Spade, Thomas Lennon from Reno 911 did like a parody of him.
Who's the actor that was Joe Dirt? Because
David Spade.
David Spade, yeah.
You think David Spade should play him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Thomas Lennon or David Spade. Either one of those guys would nail the part for sure.
Yeah.
Who do you want playing you?
Either Paul Wesley or Zac Efron.
Oh, I could see that. That would be cool.
But I think let's just talk right now about a movie coming out. It's not 100% sure.
But you know someone's going to do a movie because it's so big they can't ignore it. I mean, Tiger King Mania is huge. There's gonna be something that comes out, and somebody's gonna play you. The story's not done yet. We're still evolving, right? So there might be a movie in 10 years, but somebody is going to play you. So you got to keep that in mind and make sure it's somebody good looking. You don't want somebody like if they cast my movie, it would be like I don't know, Emmanuel Lewis playing me.
That's why I say Zac, just because I'd like to meet him.
Yeah,
and he's gonna have to meet. So
yeah, and you guys look kind of the same. So I would agree with that. So where can people find you on social media?
On Instagram, it's at Dillert, DILLERT_LCLM, and that's my only social.
I've also read that you've been getting a lot of X-rated material from just random people. So guys, he's married. Calm down. Like keep your pants on. You didn't need to see all that.
I know what a wiener looks like.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah. Do you guys have any more questions for Dillon?
No, I think we covered everything we wanted to.
Man, what do you do now? Are you still working at a park somewhere? You're in Florida. What are you doing?
So I was bartending, but
then everything got shut down. Yeah, I understand that, man. Well, man, I appreciate it. You stay safe out there. Thank you for your time. Feel free to call us anytime, and we'd love to have you.
Yep, for sure. I enjoyed it.
Have a good day, man.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye.